A fishing leader can be the difference between a fish taking your bait or not taking your bait. The difference between a frustrating day on the water or an exciting day. Fishing leaders are not essential, but they allow you to take advantage of the benefits of multiple types of line at once. Let me show you what I mean. Braided line is extremely visible in the water, but it's very strong and easy to cast. Pairing the strength of braided line with the low visibility of fluorocarbon or monofilament line gives you a winning combination. Look how much less visible this fluorocarbon leader is than the braided main line. Low visibility lines are really useful when throwing realistic lures like swim baits, crankbaits, live bait, or finesse baits. Tying this swim bait on with straight braided line results in a much less lifelike appearance because the line is so obvious. In clear water conditions, the fish will see that line and will probably think twice about striking it. In dirty water where the clarity is only a foot or two, the visibility of the line near your bait is not nearly as important. In this case, the fish won't see your lure very well until their mouth is practically open. Another big reason to use leaders is for more abrasion resistance. Braided line and monofilament lines are both likely to break when fishing around a lot of rock or branches, or if you might hook into a pike, muskie, snakehead, or other toothy critter. Fluorocarbon is the densest of the fishing lines and so therefore tends to be the most resistant to abrasion or cutting. Using a fluorocarbon leader is a good way to catch more fish and lose fewer lures. In dirty water, you could even use a wire leader, which can be made out of materials like steel or titanium. These don't usually work well in clear water because they're so obvious. Using a heavier leader allows you to use a lighter main line for better casting distance and accuracy, but your leader provides a lot of strength and abrasion resistance against sharp objects or teeth. When I'm fishing for pike and muskies, I'm often using 30 or 50 pound leaders on 20 to 30 pound braided mainline. Using a leader that's lighter than your main line can be done so that you can target smaller fish that you might not normally target with that rod. Keep in mind that you won't be able to use the full strength of your main line, so you'll want to dial down the drag on your reel. Some people use lighter leaders to create a known breaking point. For example, you might have a complicated catfish rig with swivels, weights, and beads on your main line. You can attach a lighter leader and a hook, and if you get snagged, you know you'll break off on your leader and not lose all of your other hardware. I generally start with about 18 to 20 inches of leader. If I change the lure a bunch of times and the leader gets down to about 8 inches, I'll tie up a new one. The exception to this is when I'm throwing topwater baits like frogs. I still like using fluorocarbon leaders for topwater because there are so many pike around here, but I keep them short so they can provide abrasion resistance without weighing down the front of the bait. I'm not worried about the visibility of the braided line when tossing a frog into lily pads or other dense vegetation because the fish can't get a good look at it anyway. Leaders can be tied directly to your main line using a line-to-line knot like a double uni, a blood knot, or an FG knot. If you're using lures that spin a lot like inline spinners or spoons, use a swivel between your main line and your leader. Knots will catch slightly on your rod guides and swivels can damage your guides, so that's another reason to keep your leaders at about 18 inches long and just keep that much line out between casts. If you're fishing really clear water, you might want to increase your leader to 4 to 6 feet long to make it even less likely that a fish will notice your line by the lure. In this case, you'll have to use a knot to attach the leader rather than a swivel. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.